So what can you see from the top of Mary's Peak? Actually, from Mary's Peak, you can see most of the landscape of the entire state of Oregon. So why can you see 14 different volcanoes from the top of Mary's Peak? Oregon is interesting in that it has a green side and a brown side. The green side is because of all the vegetation in the west where it's so wet. The brown side is because it's so dry. And the reason for the wet side and the brown side is because there are two parallel mountain ranges. One is called the Coast Range, the other is called the Cascade Volcanoes, and in between them is the Willamette Valley. And on Mary's Peak, we can see it all. The reason we have a Coast Range and a Cascade Volcanoes is because of something we call the Cascadia subduction zone, where tectonic plates are coming together, crashing together, and the landscape is being built up before our very eyes. Mary's Peak is one of the best places on Earth to see a subduction zone in action. The subduction zone is where one tectonic plate, in this case it's called the Juan de Fuca plate, it dives beneath another tectonic plate, the North American plate. And as it dives down, several things happen. First of all, material layers of sedimentary rocks and volcanic lava flows, they get scraped off the top of the plate and piled up, just like a bulldozer pushing the stuff over the plate that's going down. And that makes a coastal mountain range. That's where we're standing here on the top of Mary's Peak. Farther to the east, in the distance, about 100 miles away, is what's called the Cascade Volcanoes. And those are forming because as the tectonic plate dives down, it gets very hot and it's under pressure. What happens to you when you're working out? You get really, really worked up, you're hot and you're under pressure. You sweat, don't you? Well, that's what the tectonic plates does. It dehydrates, it loses water, and that hot water rises and melts rock. It makes molten magma. And some of that magma comes to the surface as the Oregon Cascades. And in fact, those Cascade volcanic peaks we see from Mary's Peak, it's not just the ones in Oregon. We can see the line of volcanoes all the way from Mount Rainier in Washington State for more than 400 miles to Mount McLaughlin in southernmost Oregon. And that's why Mary's Peak is such an important place, because we can see the place in Oregon where most of the population lives, the Willamette Valley. It's the low region down there between the coastal mountain range and the Cascade Volcanoes.